Welcome back to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, where Tom Meents in Maximum Destruction has defeated Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger to win racing, but freestyle is still to come. Now, as we've talked about, tonight's historic first ever live Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam on Speed is part of 6.5 hours of great live coverage here on the network. After we're done here, we're going out to Anaheim, where things are already heating up for round one of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Let's get the latest on the stories developing out there. Here's Aaron Bates.
The big story here at Anaheim 1 is if the defending Anaheim 1 winner of last year, the number 33 of Josh Grant with the Joe Gibbs race team, will be racing here this evening. He ended up having a crash last Tuesday at a private practice track in California, sustaining a head injury and also a broken nose. Right now, it's undetermined whether or not he will be riding tonight. However, he did ride press day and he did ride practice this afternoon. You want to stay tuned immediately here, right after Monster Jam, live on Speed, to find out what his race day decision will be.
Aaron, we're definitely going to be staying and watching all that great Monster Energy AMA Supercross action. It, too, is live right after we're done here. But what a night we've developed already. The electricity in this place when Tom Meents and Dennis Anderson pulled to the line, Ken, that was just special on this very special night.
You couldn't have scripted this any better. I mean, the way the ladder worked out, both guys really had to scrap their way there. Paul Cohen almost stealing all the thunder from both of those guys, really doing a great job in Monster Mutt. But if you look at the times, those guys kept picking away, and that's what they do. Every time they get a look at the track, they get a little bit quicker. And we heard Meents say, I saved a little in the tank because I know that guy's going to be fast.
And he pulled it out when he needed it. We heard from Tom, but Mark Schrader also wanted to get a chance to catch up with the icon himself and see what he's thinking after that hard-fought race. So let's send it down trackside right now. Here's Mark Schrader.
You know, the word loser is a strong word. I would never want to use that. Second place runner-up Dennis Anderson, you know you hate to say that. You're just the first loser of the night, but what an awesome race. It was a close run.
Oh, man, you know, I was kind of on a rail out there. I was trying to stay focused. I guess Tom stepped up his game just a little bit. I was trying to stay where I was. Kind of skipped around one corner there a little too slow, I think. That's what lost the race. I think my first turn did. But, hey, man, there's always next time. Not going to cry over spilt milk. At least I did make it to the finals.
Absolutely, Dennis. You know, you're such a sportsman here. As we talked in the open of the show tonight, you said, you know, I was double-down winner here last year. This year, I need to back that up. So what? You didn't back it up. You lost to one of your best friends. You can't lose to a better guy and better competitor.
That's right. I'm telling you, man. Tom Meents, he lets it all hang out. And, man, he's a character when he's out on that track. I don't like him when he's behind the wheel. But, honestly, behind the scenes, we have really grown to like each other, actually love each other in the sport that we do out here, and it's good. But we are competitive, and I hate for that guy to win. There ain't no doubt about it. He hates for me to win. But, hey, it makes for good racing. The fans love it. You know, what can I say, man? We're not done here tonight. You know, I still got one more competition that I can knock his feet out from underneath of him, and that's freestyle. So I'm going to step up the fire in freestyle. Hopefully I can ride this clock out, get on a bonus round, and pull off a win in freestyle. I got to walk away from here with some kind of trophy.
He wants a trophy. He wants a perfect score of 40 to 45. He's looking for the win. Absolutely. Great job tonight, Dennis. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Thank all you viewers out there. I'd like to thank all my family, my beautiful wife, Carissa, Kristen, Weston, all you guys sitting in front of the screen at home. Daddy will be home tomorrow. I love you guys.
There's Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger, but that's the man of the hour, Tom Meents, who wins racing in Maximum Destruction. And did you notice that Dennis Anderson actually ran his fastest lap of the night? Tom just found that extra muscle, and he's now talking to Brandon Lambert, his crew chief, because you know, as much as Dennis said he wants that freestyle trophy, Tom is dying to get that double down piece, and the only way you get it is to win racing and freestyle. He's got a shot at it. Now, this has been such a historic night already. It's a historic year. It's going to be a great year on speed, a great year for our sport. And one of the amazing things that has happened is the big news that came out a month ago. And that is that Advanced Auto Parts has become the first ever title sponsor of the Monster Jam Series, and they formed the Advanced Auto Parts Grinder team. Earlier, we were able to get a chance to talk to Greg Johnson, who was able to put it all together for Advanced Auto Parts.
It's great to be here in Atlanta at the first ever live show at the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam. This is a great city for us. We have 100 stores and we serve millions of customers. and we're excited to be here and be a part of such an amazing event. You know, one of the most exciting things about our relationship was actually making a decision to sponsor a truck and give that truck a name. We chose Grinder for a lot of reasons. It represents what we stand for, which is hard work, dedication, going the extra mile. And you know what, the everyday heroes and our fans, the people that we care tremendously about, their lives sometimes is a grind. And we thought Grinder was just, it's a great way to commemorate the efforts of our customers and the fans that attend the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam. I think Lupe is a perfect driver for this, to go the extra mile, you know, give a second effort and really do whatever he can do to make our customers excited. And in this case, I think he's going to turn it on for the Monster Jam fans. Yeah, he embodies the brand. You know, we've seen him over the last number of years. We actually have sponsored him in a number of races, and you know, he's a former Freestyle World Champion. He's a winner. He relates well to people, and he represents what we believe in, which is we're all out there in service of somebody else. And in his case, it's the Monster Jam fans, and for our case, it's our customers. And so he's a great fit for us.
The huge news that Advanced Auto Parts has taken over is now the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam Series. And look for the Advanced Auto Parts Grinder. We're looking for Monster Jam Freestyle, Advanced Auto Parts style, and we're going to start tearing it up when we come back to Atlanta. Don't you dare go anywhere. Tom Meents celebrates the first ever racing victory live on speed in the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam Series, but his work is only half done. He wants that coveted double down trophy. To get it, he'll have to beat the star-studded lineup in freestyle, and the wild action, the carnage, is coming up next. It's freestyle time. Welcome back to the Atlanta, Georgia Dome, where this is what you're going to see. 14 trucks giving it everything that they've got, and really this is a no-holds-barred judged competition. Ken Stout back with me. I'm Scott Douglas. Mark Schrader on the floor here in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, and we are live bringing you all this coverage on speed, starting this huge year of live action on speed. But Ken, I can think of no better way to start it than with a throwdown Monster Jam freestyle, especially when Dennis Anderson says he's got something to prove.
Yeah, he's going to come out here and go hard, but he has a lot of competition out here as well. Everybody out here wants to get out to this thing. 90 seconds of regulation time, 30 seconds of bonus time. That is 2 full minutes, which is 30 seconds longer than what they typically used to have. So obviously 6 judges there. You can read below how they're going to add them up and drop the score.
Well, the key is those 6 judges will score just the 90 seconds. There's a separate judge who judges bonus time and can offer up to 5 extra points. That's how we get to 45. Here is the order, and what pressure have they put on Paul Cohen. Here comes Monster Mutt. He's on the track, and we are underway. Nice job. Got it up on 2 wheels, but didn't get himself in trouble.
The time starts when they hit the first obstacle, so the clock is ticking. And some huge obstacles out here, I might add.
Paul Cohen in the Monster Mutt, and he looks like he's sizing up that bus stack right off the bat.
Woo! That thing is so steep.
Catches a small wheelie off of it. Still about 30 seconds into the run. Plenty of time. Boy, don't you love this overhead shot we've got in REUPLOAD? Absolutely went to the roof of the Georgia Dome for that last shot. We got cameras everywhere.
No, I think this is what he might have been more nervous about than anything. Coming out here after breaking his back, and then knowing he's going to have to put his body to the test here. Nice job.
Yeah, because you come to this event, you better bring it. You bring your A game. Paul knows it, and he's thrilled to be here. Getting down now into his final 30 seconds of regulation time. You know, one of the things that we were talking about, Ken, if you don't fill the clock, the judges will deduct points. So the first thing, you've got to go big, but you've got to balance it and be able to fill the time. And it looks like Paul's going to do that.
That's something that's happened here lately, and started to touch on that before. 2 minutes for one of these trucks is a long, long time. You have to go aggressive. You have to be controlled enough to keep that team together.
And it's so competitive now, it's tough to win without getting at least into bonus time, if not getting some bonus points. Well, Cohen is into bonus time.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
The clock. And look at that.
Cross-threading it, baby.
They called out a cross-thread, a combination, and he stands it on the tail. Well, where the tail was. What a start.
That was a beautiful job of cross-threading right there at the very end.
You see why we want this young man back behind the wheel if he's healthy enough. One of the most talented drivers to come along in the last decade is Paul Cohen, and he shows you right there. What a finish. You talk about that wow moment, that exclamation point. Paul had it, and he put it up there. That bar's pretty high right now for everybody else to try and jump over.
Yeah, that was a solid start out here, and to think he has not done this in a while. I mean, he just fell right back in the groove.
Yeah, he really did. Outstanding performance, and it's great to see the reaction of the Atlanta fans. A huge roar, probably second only to the roar that Tom Meents got in the championship race. Now, we'll get the scores momentarily while you take a look at the replays, my friend.
Yeah, here's that cross-thread move. I mean, he just goes up and over, lands it really hard on the back bars. You can see the rear bumper there completely ripped off. So he landed way hard there. And that can be tough on the body, but that was the big hit right there. I mean, he just plowed the front of that thing into that jump and then landed her hard.
We see cross-thread moves, but it's pretty rare you see a combination cross-thread move, and that's how Paul Cohen and Monster Mutt wrapped it up. Well, Batman's coming out. The scores, there we go. They threw out the other two, so we're just going to see the 4 scores. So a 25 is the score. Not sure if he got any bonus time. We know it's a 25 in regulation. So it's a 25 is the regulation score for Paul Cohen. He did get into bonus time, but he didn't use a lot of it. So we'll wait and find out.
John Seesock. Yeah, John Seesock. And this body cost $18,000 on Batman. And it was always a one-piece body. Now they've actually fabricated it so it's in a few different sections. So if he does hurt it, and he probably will, they won't have to buy an entire new body.
Seesock has made his name as a 2-time world racing champion, but still loves the freestyle. Nice air right there. Gets some great hang time. You know, John, one of the most beloved by the fans as far as drivers in the sport, partially because of all the charity work, the Make-A-Wish things, all the charities that he works with throughout the year, and he loves doing it. But right now, he's going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to take the lead away from Paul Cohen. Nice combination of sky wheelies, but really looking for that wow factor as he gets inside the final. Now you're seeing the clock counting down the final 20 seconds of regulation time for Batman.
Lines it up square. I mean, real solid job here. I don't think he's going to win anything here tonight with this one. Now he's picking up the pace a little bit.
Well, they kind of have to. You know, they want to survive the clock, and it's just how big can you go early. John kind of started building the momentum. Now the build the regulation clock, gets over the school bus, grabs a bit of a slap wheelie, and he is indeed in bonus time.
Yeah, beautiful job there. Work into a donut. He's long, you don't.
And he did them brilliantly there. And see, that's one thing the judges are looking for, something the other trucks haven't shown us.
John, a seasoned veteran, needless to say, really made a name for himself in 07 when he won here and went out and won the championships. And you know what? Taking care of both sides of the floor here.
One of the things that works for that strategy is the judges are in different parts of the stadium. And that looks like that will bring it to an end for John Seesock and Batman. Doubt it takes the lead away from Paul Cohen, but a good solid run. Matter of fact, it won't. The regulation time will be a 20, and it appears we're getting 2 bonus points, so it'll be a 22.
All right, there's a good look at the donuts. Look at that left front, that inside tire. No friction there, pretty much up in the air, and it is just lighting it up. And those things are going to be pretty tricky. You know, we talked about this tacky clay out here. If you don't stab that throttle and really get those tires rotating, it'll spit you over on its lid pretty quickly.
The awesome Batman machine and John Seesock. Again, the total with 2 bonus points of 22. Back to live action as we get one more look at Batman. Because Scott Hartsock has come out and grabbed himself a wheelie right off the bat. From Bushnell, Florida, Scott Hartsock and the Gunslinger.
We talked about no sway bar in the front of that truck. It frees the front of the truck up. He does have a sway bar in the back, so it's a little more stable in the back, a little freer in the front. The fact that he's doing wheel stands out here is pretty impressive, too, because there are 0 lugs on those tires. Those tires are heavily buffed, all but gone. It takes a lot of weight off of them, too. Oh, yeah.
Nice air, and you can hear the thunder of that huge Gunslinger engine. You know, Scott has put a lot of effort. Remember, here's a guy who goes all the way back to the first World Final back in 2000 when he was one of the big guns. He was the runner-up for that first World Championship. He's kind of had a few years where not quite as aggressive. He wants to get back to the top. That truck looks beautiful. He's put a lot into it, and he intends to be coming back to this year's Las Vegas World Finals.
There it is.
Nice.
Slap wheelie, working right up. Go vertical. Right in the center is a nice double. I think he tried to grab one. He wants that mustache again.
He's liking that air. Remember,
that 1-2 combo stuff, I mean, the fans like that because, I mean, he's borderline out of control. He's just kind of going where the truck sends him, but he's got to stick with it.
huge air for the Gunslinger as he goes into bonus time. He may get himself a chance at the lead just with the level of the air assault he is putting on. Because judges love big air.
And he's had some big air. There is no question. I mean, I've got to tell you, if he doesn't take the lead here, I'll be surprised. If he can finish this thing up hard, he should take the lead.
Scott Hartsock in the Gunslinger, filling bonus time, and he has put himself in contention early on in the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam. First ever live freestyle on speed, and he is flat airing it out.
Another guy that's in excellent shape, very, very strong man, and keep himself sharp. You have to do this.
That's the regulation score as he ends up with a 26, so he will grab the lead. Scott Hartsock gets the lead in Gunslinger. Will check his bonus score and be coming back with more freestyle when we return to Atlanta live on Speed. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, this historic night that launches this huge 2010 year of live action on speed. We're thrilled to get it started for you with the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam. Let me correct the scoring as we went away. Gunslinger actually was credited with 27 points in regulation, 3 bonus points for a total of 30. Monster Mutt did not get any bonus points. Paul Cohen sits second with a 25, and then Batman ended up with a total of 22. Here comes Chad Fortune, Superman.
You spoke about him before in racing. Talk about him playing some college football, also played with the NFL. I mean, this guy looks like Superman. You've never seen him before. He looks like Clark Kent. He's 6'4", devilishly handsome. I mean, just a great-looking guy, and the fans love him. Oh, backing up is not a good thing. And it looked like he struggled with a rear steer right there for a moment. I thought he tried to get a turnaround. It looks like it's working now, though.
Oh, we just love hearing that big throttle. And again, he's worked with it. You'll hear later, for those of you, again, who may be tuning in, only caught Monster Jam once or twice before. When Tom and Dennis and these guys come out later, that's what you're going to notice, is that rap, 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 that throttle that they make such a big part of their show as well. Chad doing it a little bit here. You're getting a feel for that big power.
Yeah, it's about rhythm. You want to keep those tires rotating all the time. It's really easy to break something if you don't keep them rotating as well.
A little bit of a cross thread angle to that, and he'll combo it up. Nicely done.
Beautiful job.
Yeah, he's taking it down to his final 15 seconds of regulation time. Unless he really goes out with a wow factor, although there's some sweet air. Not likely to get the lead away from Gunslinger, but he's definitely given these Atlanta fans what they wanted to see, and that is another outstanding freestyle.
Oh, a little sideways here. Cross-threading.
Yep, cross-threads it up. We're seeing a lot of that tonight. Bonus time for Chad Fortune and Superman. You know, you mentioned, he is an athlete. There's just no question about that fact. He even tried his hand in professional wrestling for a little bit, but has really found a home in this Superman truck. Love the angle. angles our directors and production team are giving us here. You're getting to feel and see what everybody here in Georgia Dome is experiencing, and even a few shots like this that are just so sweet from the top of the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch the suspension go to work on these things. The limiting straps falling, catching those differentials as they fall out from underneath the trucks. There's a lot going on in there.
He will fill bonus time as well.
Nice.
Chad Fortune putting on a show. The scores for regulation will be a 20. We'll check what his bonus number is momentarily. Let's take a look at some replays. Chad is just doing an encore for the fans. He's keeping it going just for the fans, Ken.
Yeah, I mean, he needed to do that just about 10 seconds ago, because this is wild right here.
But we're watching the replay here, but Chad flipped it over. Chad after the run, again, we're watching the replay right here as you see the Superman Ford. Let's go back live, because indeed, he kept going. His run was done. We went to replay, and Chad flips it over.
That's a pretty scary moment right here, I mean, for the driver.
Yeah, we're going to get to see it. Again, the safety crew best in the business in Monster Jam. Let's take a look. This is, again, after all the scoring, and he just kept going for the fans, and he turns it over on its lid.
And after you run one of these things so long, you can see right there, they're just so hot. They're losing fluid. And then that fluid gets on those headers and it ignites. Fire is the worst fear for any driver. This one lights up here pretty quickly, but he does get out, he's fine.
That's why we talked about the remote ignition interrupter, but there is also a safety switch on the back that the officials pull, and that shuts down all the electricals immediately, which helps avoid that.
Right here, I mean, that's some pretty wild stuff. That is a 10,000-pound truck, ladies and gentlemen, that he just sails up through the air. That right rear just catches that lip, and it launched him off to the left.
He was catching that lip with the right rear, or he'd have kept going. But Chad ends up on his roof. Boy, there he is, and look, he almost looks disappointed. He gave these fans a show. Nice job, Chad.
He gave them a great show.
Wait a minute, are we going to get the pose?
Here we go. We're going to get the pose, baby.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Gotta love it.
Chad Fortune doing his thing at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Made his home here in Atlanta for several years, so I know he loves coming back. Now, again, when you're throwing out highs and lows, it's going to be a 20. All those 4 5s are what will matter. Again, the high score of the 6 goes out, the low score of the 4 goes out, and then 20. And as far as bonus points go, he got 3 bonus points, so it'll be a total of 23. And boy, that body is junk.
Yeah, yeah, that's another expensive one right there.
Whoa. So Gunslinger remains the leader, but it's Chad Fortune and Superman who's turned this crowd on early on in freestyle for the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam Series here live on Speed.
Well, I'll tell you, if he would have done what he did at the end of that run just a little bit earlier,
might have took a lead.
Absolutely. He'd have been tough to beat here tonight.
Yeah, Chad Fortune and Superman really rocking the house, but that's what you expect. And again, we talked about the excitement these drivers were feeling, and I think that was, Ken, partially why a lot of guys made those mistakes in racing, and why I think we saw Tom and Dennis able to channel all the excitement of this live event a little bit better than some of the younger guys. There is such a feeling among the drivers of history tonight of excitement. Not just that this is the 18th time Monster Jam, the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam Series, has been here in Atlanta, but this new chapter live on Speed, and everybody wants to make a name for themselves. Yeah, they've already made names for themselves, but here's your chance to step it up even more. And boy, Chad Fortune just did a great job. Now, Nitro Circus scheduled out next. This truck, Cam McQueen's the driver, the native of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. If you didn't see coverage of last year's Monster Jam NGK Spark Plugs World Finals, this truck entered the event for racing with the Pastrana 199 body on it, and Cam McQueen drove it. After it was eliminated from racing, they went back in the pits. They took the Pastrana 199 body off, put the Nitro Circus body on. Crew Chief Becky McDonough was on top of it, and then they changed drivers. Travis Pastrana himself freestyled this like a wild man. Well, now Cam's back in it. I know Travis is watching, and he wants to see his boy go big.
I love that they asked some of the drivers some questions here earlier today, and one of them was, how long have you been driving? He put a total of 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I think 2 hours and 37 minutes actually is what he meant to go with, including intros.
He's quite a character. Cam McQueen, again, as we mentioned, his crew chief, one of the only female crew chiefs in the business, or in the sport, and we're seeing more and more come into it. I mean, oh, look at this. Beautifully done by Cam McQueen. But again, Lori Evans has been a crew chief on Dan's truck, the Destroyer, for years. But Becky McDonough went through training like they have at UTI and other technical schools, got it, was able to get on this team, kind of hooked up first with Pastrana 199, and now part of the Nitro Circus team. And Cam McQueen loves having her working his truck.
Listen to that, the gearing sounds a little bit different in that or the chip that they have in that engine is a little bit lower in RPM. I don't see him getting quite the speed that we saw, for example, out of Scott's truck.
Kind of a mini donut version, didn't get into it like Batman did, and that's the danger of doing a move somebody else did. If you don't do it as well, the judges are going to probably mark you down a little bit. I did like his cross-thread going the other way.
There's no question. This guy has some talent. He was very good in racing there. Unfortunately, made a mistake, but was very fast. Now there's a little cross-thread action.
Yeah, he likes this angle. He likes coming through. What he's finding is a valley right next to that car where he can launch, and he's landing on that ramp. So it looks good, but it's not putting him in peril. He's down to his final 20 seconds.
Here's a good look at how that is actually created a double. There's a little valley right there in the center of that obstacle. Oh boy, here we go.
Watch the landing here.
Nice.
Nicely done. Yep.
One more, don't be afraid.
Cam McQueen in Nitro Circus sets it down as he fills the regulation clock and goes into bonus time. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not a judge, because it's just going to keep getting tougher and tougher to pick out who's the winner as this thing goes on.
That was just perfect. I mean, he stuck the landing there. Look at the donuts across the floor.
Our two newest trucks there, the Iron Man and the Advanced Auto Parts Grinder, are the ones he's dirtying up. Hey, perfect place to park it. Big roar from the fans in Atlanta for Canadian Cam McQueen in Travis Pastrana's Nitro Circus. Solid run. Don't know if it's enough to get Gunslinger, but I like it.
A really good effort. No doubt Cam's got a bright future here.
Looks like a 23 in regulation. And the bonus score is 2, I believe, so that'll be a 25. Still, our leader will remain Scott Hartsock and Gunslinger.
And I've got to say, I mean, the judges have had this very, very close, but every one of these has been very similar. I mean, they've all been very solid. Another look at him doing the donuts here, and again, unloading that inside front tire and squatting down there in the rear. Watch this here, up and over the bus, and just nails that landing perfectly.
Randy Moore brings out the War Wizard as Freestyle continues live for the first time ever on Speed.
Randy, a former drag racer in the Pro Mod category. That's where he has that big power from. 572 cubic inch power plant. We talked about it before. Keith Black motor. 1,800 horsepower.
You know, if you live in Bristol, Tennessee, you've got to race something.
Yeah. He's come a long ways over the past few years. I mean, he really has.
Last year, got his first invitation to the NGK Spark Plugs World Finals and was just absolutely thrilled. And I think the industry was, because he earned it. He's put the effort in, has worked his way up. And Randy got himself in a spot. Now, that's a negative. The judges are instructed to deduct if you back up and are not doing a move in reverse. So that'll probably cost him a point.
So I'm turning there. I did not see the rear tires turn. He was struggling trying to get that thing turned. I wonder if the rear steer is broken on it.
By the way, let me break some news in case fans at home.
The rear steer is broke on that truck, so that's why he's struggling. He has to back up. And that's exactly, sorry, Scott, to give you a good example, that is why they have to have the rear steer on the truck.
Randy's he's going to keep going. Just wanted to get in real quickly. We mentioned the NGK Spark Plugs World Final. They start the process of putting that field together tonight, and no surprise, Dennis Anderson was the first to be invited and be presented with his flag. So we know Anderson and Gravedigger back. Look at that, the wheel's broken off. It's kind of suspended on its side and then goes over. Oh my. Randy Moore and the War Wizard.
Almost perfectly balanced there with the 3 wheels left on it. He just snapped that thing right off there. Looks like at the,
I think for
the knuckle, it might be outside a little closer to the end of the hub.
I think for a few minutes
right there at the knuckle.
He was defying laws of gravity, several of them. And he talked about not breaking any rules. There he is, Randy Moore and the War Wizard. Blew the engine in that truck a week ago in Montgomery, Alabama, trying to get ready for this event. So he had to do a little more work than he thought, but came out and gave us a show in freestyle. Problem is, he didn't fill the clock and won't get the kind of score he had hoped for, so there'll be no bonus time. Cam, let's take a look at the replays, though, because he was going for it.
Yeah, up and over there, and all the weight landed on that right front, and when it landed, he had it turned to the right a little bit, so it just put it in such a violent bind, it had no choice but to snap it off. We are talking about some big, heavy, thick iron. One of those differentials weighing in with the wheels and tires on it, around 3,000 pounds.
So you can see after they throw out the high and the low, it'll be a 24. The scores coming in there for Randy Moore and the War Wizard, who I think is standing by with Mark Schrader. Mark, you ready?
Take a look at this. Randy Moore, about 10 seconds ago, you were upside down in that truck. We look at it as they're writing it upside down, from upside down, right side up. A broken spindle is what caused that rollover. Randy, what an awesome freestyle tonight. What are you thinking? What were your thoughts through that freestyle?
Live Speed TV, that War Wizard was going to put on a show. I've come down here to Atlanta. I've always had bad luck. I wanted to get big air and make this crowd happy because this is my home track. So for speed, that's what I wanted to do.
Absolutely, you got the big air. It was fantastic. Your fans obviously here. You call it hometown. This is big stuff for you. You gave it to them. What a great night for you.
Hey, I appreciate it. I've got my family out here. I've got all my friends and people back in Bristol, Tennessee that support me. And man, I just want to tell you, it can't be done without them. Thank you very much.
Live on speed, that's what he wanted.
And that's what he did. Randy Moore and War Wizard gets the acknowledgement of the cheers of the crowd, and now he'll head back and take his truck back to the pits. Well, we're not even halfway through freestyle yet. Gunslinger leads it, but there's a lot more spectacular action to come when we return to Atlanta, and it's coming up next. Back in Atlanta's Georgia Dome, the history of our first ever live televised Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam on speed continues with Gunslinger, your leader. You can see Monster Mutt and Nitro Circus both had scores of 25, but in all honesty, the focus is on who's in that #1 spot. And right now, it's Scott Hartsock and the Gunslinger. 6 have completed their runs. As you can see, a total of 14 are here, so 8 more to go, with the debut of the Ironman truck scheduled to be coming out next. This is one I'm really looking forward to. It is a brand new piece, and it is a piece that just looks spectacular. Lee O'Donnell is a guy who we know can get the job done.
Now, Lee O'Donnell has a lot of racing experience. We talked about that before, and loves driving these monster trucks. A brand new piece here, brand new body. Kind of resembles 33 Willys, if you will, in the very front of it, the grill of it, but it's unique. Never seen another one like it, man.
Now if you are a fan of watching speed, as we know you are because you're here with us tonight and you've watched some other series, yeah, you've seen that name come up before because Lee O'Donnell, a very accomplished off-road racer as well, but he's thrilled to be able now to apparently be getting more and more Monster Jam work. For the last few years, he has been the ultimate hired gun. But let's go ahead and go down to Mark Schrader on trackside. Mark, take it away.
Scott Hartsock, Gunslinger, cock-locked and ready to rock, live on speed. This is reminiscent of World Finals 1. I haven't seen that big air in a long time.
Absolutely. You know, I knew I was going to have to come out here cock-locked and ready to rock due to the fact that I didn't race like I used to. Didn't have the motor I had underneath me, but I got to say thanks to Hedman Hustle Header, my wife, Kathy, Michael, Jeff, everybody in the shop for helping keeping that thing going. And you know what? It ain't over yet because we got Detroit, we got Tampa, we got Orlando, Tampa again, Jacksonville. Man, we're on a roll. We're going to go big all year long.
There you go. You got it from Hartsock.
Lee O'Donnell going big right now in Ironman. Ken, what do you think of that piece?
I mean, it's awesome. It's beautiful and definitely different. I mean, you're always looking for something different.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see the excitement of Scott Hartsock again. He seems to have found a new energy, but can he hold the lead against this kind of talent? Because he knows the biggest guns in the game are coming after him. Look at Lee O'Donnell skying.
That wheelie just a moment ago, not only was he doing a wheelie, he had to have presence of mind to bang that thing into second gear as well. Got it in second gear, but a little bit late. It was up on the chip for a moment.
You're going to have to ask Lee if he hasn't learned by now. When you put working lights in an Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam machine, they don't work the whole light. One of them's already out.
You sail one of these things as far as they do, and they land as hard as they land. If the lights are not happy.
Final 10 seconds of regulation time upcoming for Lee O'Donnell and Iron Man, his maiden freestyle voyage, not just on speed, but anywhere. This is a brand new truck, its first run. Nice job of the sky wheelie. That's how you're supposed to position.
Yeah, I mean, the first time he ever sat in that truck was when he drove it out on the floor today. Pretty amazing. So they've been adjusting on those shocks, I'm sure, to get that thing dialed in, and it looks great.
Lee O'Donnell and Iron Man gets it into bonus time. Looking for maximum points. Boy,
Man.
I think what we're seeing, and we're going to watch what Lee's scores are, these judges want the big air. Right now, Scott Hartsock has the lead because of the big air, and I think Lee's got a shot at it as he fills bonus time.
I mean, people in the mezzanine level, they're all looking at him eye to eye. He was just airing that thing out.
He fills the time. Now, the regulation score is a 21, so not quite what he wanted, and certainly won't be enough to get him the lead. Ken, I'll look at that bonus score while you look at the replay.
Yeah, one more time, and you can't talk about it enough. It's just huge air. And again, Lee O'Donnell's come so far. That's that wheelie I was talking about, slap wheelie. Had to go from first to second gear in mid-scream. I mean, there's a lot going on inside of that truck to remember to reach down there and take care of the shifting as well. Sets it back down nicely. I mean, never rolled the truck over, put on a great show, used every inch of the floor and every obstacle that was out there. Did his job here tonight.
21 points in regulation, as you saw before we went to the replays. 2 bonus points from the bonus judge. And again, the bonus judge is just one judge who can offer up to 5 points. It's a total of 23 for Iron Man. So Scotty Hartsock keeps dodging bullets as Gunslinger has the lead. But here is a driver who a lot of people think is going to win a world title someday. The up-and-coming Alex Blackwell in a truck that Pablo Huffaker drove to the 2007, or at least the name of the truck and the body styling. The Captain's Curse team, Pablo Huffaker, won his only world championship, not driving a Gravedigger truck, but driving Captain's Curse.
And I think he has a great combo on here for Freestyle, and he has some huge lugs on the rear of that truck. They are buffed to a sharp point, an edge. I mean, this thing should get some mad grip if he can get it going.
And he's already rolled it over once tonight, so he's not worried about hurting the body anymore. Not that he was in the first place anyway.
Yeah, there's those lugs we were talking about. I mean, they are gigantic and buffed on one side, so
1941 Willys is the body model here. With a hole in the nose.
Yeah, there's a little grip. Standing still, wheel stands in the dirt.
From Frackville, Pennsylvania, Alex Blackwell and Captain's Curse coming out with some nice momentum, going move to move. Again, one of the things the judges are going to look for is a flow and air. How about that? Pretty much handled the double. Went ramp to ramp on that one. Got a little bit of the back car, but they're smashed down so much that wasn't going to hurt them.
And I think what you're going to see, I mean, this is a solid effort, don't get me wrong, but I think you're going to see some trucks here towards the end of Freestyle that will hit that double in the center of the floor and never even come close to the second stack because they'll have so much speed.
And I think that's what it's going to take to impress the judges or something like that. Now, watch this. Look at him walking across the bus. That'll impress the judges.
Yeah, they'll love that. And that's a flat dirt wall that he just went up right there. I mean, we're talking about a flat dirt wall that is probably the better part of 6 foot tall.
From the roof of the Georgia Dome, you're looking at Alex Blackwell and Captain's Curse down to his final 20 seconds of regulation time. Nice momentum. He had a nice flow to this one for sure. No wasted time. Stands it up. This will be the move that completes his regulation time. Our clock counts to 0. That means we are in bonus time.
Yeah, there's a ball. He saves it. He saves it.
And the fans come to their feet.
And you see what that does to him? That sparks him as a driver, man. It just puts him on a whole nother level.
To this point, the save of the night from Alex Black.
Oh, he's firing T-shirts up in the crowd. If you pay attention, this one has a T-shirt cannon located right behind the cab, and he'll squeeze a little button, and it'll send a T-shirt up in the air.
Alex Blackwell putting on a show in Captain's Curse. A nice regulation run. Fills it. And then goes into bonus time. And as you mentioned, even adds a few more Captain's Curse fans with some new Captain's Curse t-shirts.
Absolutely. That's a great presence of mind, too, when you're out there to push the T-shirt cannon button.
Nice scores, a 28. This is going to come down to bonus time. Can he get more than 2 bonus points to take the lead? Gunslinger has a 30.
He has to kick the door open with his foot.
Well, the fans are going to give this guy a well-deserved round of applause. And he is the new leader. 3 bonus points, a 31 in Captain's Curse. Alex Blackwell takes the lead.
Another look at it here, man. He really got after it right here. Up and over that large jump. It kicked him sideways to the left and back to the right. Somehow managed to save it. The biggest way to save these things is to keep tapping that throttle, man. Keep working that throttle, keep those tires rotating, and hopefully it goes in your favor. Up that 6-foot face right there of dirt. And here's another look at it. Just grazes the top of that thing. What a beautiful job.
We had a couple more looks at it for you, Canna. Are you having fun with all these replays? Our crew's doing a great job at giving you all the toys.
You know what? I hope the fans at home are having fun because this is some great stuff. A lot of cameras out here. Our crew doing a spectacular job. And, of course, the drivers, they're delivering.
Once we finally got Alex out of the truck, he's able to come take a bow. What a performance. And Alex Blackwell, an emerging superstar, takes the lead by 1 point over Scott Hartsock and Gunslinger. And you can see right there, he's headed for the hot seat. He is your leader. That's how tight this competition is. Captain's Curse grabs a 1-point advantage over Gunslinger. And we now are just a little past the halfway point. Some of the biggest guns in the game, though, are still to come. And one of them is the guy we've been calling the bridesmaid. He wants to break out of it. George Bellhan, it seems like every time you turned around last year, was finishing second. He finished second here a year ago when Dennis Anderson won Freestyle and Gravedigger. In December in Minneapolis, he was the winner for the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam. He beat Dennis, but he didn't beat Lindsey Wink, and he finished second again. George watched this one, and here comes Escalade.
I hope he has a truck to get it done here tonight. Keep in mind, Mark said that the transmission was leaking some fluid a little bit earlier, so they might have had enough time to change it. Great onboard air suspension.
That's the jam cam showing it to you.
The yellow straps, you see, there are limiting straps. That keeps the suspension from falling so far down that would rip. There you go, and it was maxed out right there. It would rip the shock apart. And obviously, the rest of the differential would come completely out of it. So,
the leader of Monster Jam's Mohawk Nation, George Bellhan, from the Chicago, Illinois area. You can really check out with this camera angle the great look of the neon lights they shot. You already talked about the spinners. But
great overhead shot there from the center of the dome.
Yep. Cross thread.
Yeah, and that's what he just did. I mean, he knows. He knows what to do to score points, and you can't be conventional.
Down to about 30 seconds, so he's filling the clock with action. Another cross. I mean, I have not seen so many cross threads over a bus early on in the competition before. But again, we knew everybody wanted to make a big impression here on Speed Live, and they're doing it.
I think hats off to the track crew. I mean, they put this together perfectly. They really gave these guys something to work with tonight.
And let's expand the track construction crew along with the officials. A great job.
He's doing wheelies in the middle of a donut. That might be the first time I've ever seen that.
I'm not sure what to call that. We'll have to think about that one as we go into bonus time.
A wheelie nut.
Yeah, that might work. George Bellhand.
It looked like part of the sway bar, broken front sway bar, they're flopping around.
And over he goes. Yeah, that's normally going to be the result when you get yourself in that spot. And a little bit of a flash fire, the crew coming out, and they'll get that put out. George Bellhand turns him on. He did get into bonus time, but won't get many bonus points, Ken. And it's going to be hard to get the lead away from Captain's Curse.
Great show, though. Great driving job out of him.
He has become, I'm sorry, Ken, but he has become one of the preeminent freestylers in the sport today.
Very comfortable. I mean, he comes out of the Quad Wars. He was used to hanging it out there. He really knew how to ride. Great balance, great hand-eye coordination.
Well, 27 regulation points. I just don't see 4 bonus points being there, as we'll wait for the bonus judge's number to come in. He did not fill all of it. He'll get 2 bonus points. So 29 will put him in the 3rd place. It's still Captain's Curse 1, Gunslinger 2, Escalade 3.
The safety crew has to be careful when he's getting out of that truck. He can poke an eye out.
Watch this.
With that mohawk.
George has been known to take the shirt off of his back and give it to somebody in the stands, and that's what he's pointing, and a lot of his fans know that. Who wants the shirt off George Bellhand's back? Well, that's what he's trying to figure out right here.
He's a showman, too. You're right. I mean, he has turned into such a great driver. Listen to this crowd.
Oh, they love him. They love him. And again, we see more and more of the youngsters showing up in mohawks, and that warms George's heart at every Built Ford Tough party in the pits we go to. Yeah, he's found a section that he can get that wants that shirt.
And so, they all have, a lot of these guys have a routine that they do when they get out of the truck, and these fans know it.
Yeah. You see some more to come, by the way.
Yeah. We're not finished. These guys that go underneath the...
Now, this is something that George does. All this plastic is safety holds mandated by the USHRA, the sanctioning body for the Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam Tour. Nothing can be in those areas. It's all about safety for the competitors and for the fans. So it makes it tough. Well, George says, I'll just sneak my way underneath all that.
Well, he's way up in the stands, too. He has his eye on somebody.
He found a young man to give that shirt to. George Bellhand.
Mohawk working on the little young man right there. So.
And Escalade. Ken, here comes some replays for you that we're going to take a look at. And again, for George, it was just one of those things. Once the sway bar broke, he's kind of flopping around.
Yeah, and you could see how much looser that front end got as soon as that sway bar broke. But you know, he was cross-threading the entire time. He did a lot of different stuff. He took a different approach, and it worked for him here tonight.
The leader remains Captain's Curse and Alex Blackwell trying to take it, but we've got some great trucks still to come. Don't go away. We are coming right back to Atlanta live on Speed.
Hey everyone, I'm Lindsey Wink, driver of the Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder monster truck. Go into monstersonmainstreet.com right now and register to win your very own Ford truck and me in your backyard the summer of 2010. We've been to Illinois, we've been to North Carolina, we've been to Texas. I want to come to your backyard. So get online now, monstersonmainstreet.com, get your registration in. I'll see you in the summer of 2010.
There you get a look at the Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder. Lindsey Wink talking about one of the most fun promotions because somebody's getting a new Ford F-150 and that backyard barbecue. And again, we'll talk more about that. And again, all the promotions, whether they're with Advance, Auto Parts, Ford, whoever, MonsterJam.com is kind of your center to go there. You can go to SpeedTV.com while you're there. I mean, it clicks you and takes you to everything. And you can get tickets to upcoming events like the World Finals. You got to come join us in Vegas for the biggest event in Monster Jam, March 27th.
We'd love to have you there. It is a monster truck event like no other.
Like no other. Here we go, and there's the website, MonsterJam.com. Real simple. Lupe Sosa brings out the Advanced Auto Parts Grinder. Its second run. He debuted it in Minneapolis last month. And this truck just looks great, and Lupe's such a great fit. I mean, I was talking to some of the folks with Advanced Auto Parts, and he signed autographs for, I believe it was like 3,500 dealers. He's just such a great representative of them. They love this relationship, but now they want to see him deliver on the track.
They're trying some new stuff on this truck, too. We talked about the suspension falling out and those limiting straps. Well, they also are taking care of some of that fallout with the shocks. They're actually putting the accumulators on the bottom of the shock now, and it actually helps control that 3,500-pound differential I was talking about when it's falling down. Do it under control.
Oh, my. Beautifully done. I mean, it's just the smoothness of the leap. Oh, hang on, Loopy. Oh, no.
Get it. Oh, he tried.
He tried.
Oh, I thought I was going to roll back again.
Oh, what a disappointment with 25 seconds left on the regulation clock, and he almost had it. But the 2004 World Freestyle Champion, unable to fill the clock, gives the fans a thrill, but just you can just see it coming. He got himself kind of in an area there that you're not going to be able to get away with.
Yeah, I promise you, he will be very disappointed here. He wanted to do way more than that. And, you know, he's one of the guys, one of the wow moments of all time that I think of at the World Finals. When he launched that truck, I mean, he just shredded it. It fell apart in pieces. So he has zero fear when he's inside of that thing.
And remember, when he launched it, Bounty Hunter had been left there as an obstacle. He literally sailed between the wheels of Bounty Hunter before he ended up crashing and breaking that thing up. What a moment that was, you're right. The scores are going to be low. Yeah, you can see that the judges didn't have a whole lot they could do. It's a total of 17, but obviously a big hand from the Atlanta fans who love Lupe Sosa here. First time driving the Advanced Auto Parts grinder.
And right there on the side of that jump, I mean, that big, huge pile of dirt. We talked about that face of that wall being 6 foot, but if you get to the highest part of that pile of dirt there, that jump, that ramp, if you will. I mean, we're talking about 15 feet up, so that thing is it's very tall. And if you get to the side of it, it just rolled him over. He had nothing to do. He was off to a great start. I mean, it looked like it was going to be an awesome show, but he just got thrown a curveball right there, nothing he could do.
Well, look, Kent, it's just right here was where it thought, because the cab actually hit up on the top of that mound, it might come back, but he just didn't have enough.
Looking at this one more time, something else the fans at home should know: the rear end is a spool. It's a positive, but the front is open. So he hit the throttle. He did what he was supposed to do, but because it has an open front differential, the right front spun because there had no friction there.
Well, Lupe and his team having a discussion about it. Captain's curse, Alex Blackwell. Will he be able to make the history of being our first live on speed freestyle winner? He's there right now with the lead by 1 point over Gunslinger, Escalade, the Mutt, Nitro Circus, War Wizard, Iron Man, as you've seen, and then Batman and Grinder. And rounding out that 10th spot, and of course, for Grinder, not able to fill the clock, going over too early. It's going to reflect on the score. And, you know, Lupe's not going to worry about that. He wanted a lot more, so he's going to get ready. And he's going to head up into the stands. In the meantime, let's check back in the hot seat. Mark Schrader, I believe, is hanging out with Alex Blackwell.
Alex Blackwell says, I want to go sit in the seat. I want to sit in the seat. I said, well, go sit in the seat. He says, I've never sat in, I've never been in the lead. Now you're here, buddy, with a 31.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I'm at all these shows and I see it and I never want to sit in it just because, you know, it might be bad luck in my mind. You know, everybody said it was a decent run. I won't know until I see it. You know, hopefully everybody at home DVR'd it for me. You know, it's been great. I rolled over in racing, but, you know, I came back for freestyle. Howie, my crew guy, and all my help back there, got it back together, and we came back for a good run.
Redemption is good with a score of 31. He's sitting live in the hot seat. Back to you guys in the booth.
He mentioned Howie. That's Howie Dalton, his crew chief, who also has been doing duty on the Batman truck here. So Howie, a busy guy down in the pits. Captain's curse, the leader with a 31, but we are now ready for the youngest world champion in Monster Jam history. It's Adam Anderson and Taz.
And he's looking to redeem himself here. I guarantee you he was very frustrated in racing. This kid is definitely a chip off the old
Watch that. Hang on, baby. Nice. Boy, he got himself on that ragged edge, which is where Adam likes to be. Many will tell you one of the keys to him winning that 08 World Championship were his amazing saves.
Holy smokes.
And he finds a way. He finds a way to pull this thing out of spots that you just don't think he can do it. Look at that air.
That's what I was talking about, clearing that second stack. I mean, just huge speed right there.
You were on the money there. We're going to see more doing just that. Listen to his throttle rhythm, the way he learned from his dad. In a bit of a spot, but he's making the turns. He wanted to stay away from the wall protection. He gave up a little momentum, but he didn't have to back up. You see the clock counting us down to regulation.
The momentum and the speed that he's carrying out here has already surpassed everybody else that's come out. Look at that. I mean, standing on the throttle.
And that's the way where he's got to check up a little bit because he doesn't have a lot of landing. Don't you love these onboards? He will fill regulation time.
Oh, no.
He plants it right as we come to the end of regulation time. There won't be any bonus scores, but that may be enough to get the lead.
I told you that was a flat-faced wall right there of dirt, and he hit it hard.
What a performance from Adam Anderson and Taz, showing everybody at home and here in the Georgia Dome just how he became the 2008 World Freestyle Champion, the youngest ever in the sport's history.
Wow. Yeah, he wanted to come out here and give these fans a treat, a show, because he struggled in racing. He knows it, but he came out here where he's comfortable and made it happen.
I think Daddy's proud of that one. Daddy went happy with the racing. The scores are 32. Without any bonus points, you got a new leader. Listen to this crowd. They love it. Make no mistake about it. There's the future of Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam right there. Not just in him, in the likes of Alex Blackwell we've seen, and David Bradshaw, and some of these others. But this kid leads the charge. He's taking it forward.
Yeah, he's a young man, very, very talented. Watched his father do it for so long. He listened, he watched, he learned, came out here. He's been a part of it since he was born.
And his brother debuts this year, Ryan Anderson.
Absolutely.
There will now be 3 Andersons driving. Let's go to the replays here. All right, now you're seeing a replay here of Taz. Mark Schrader, though, has caught up with Adam Anderson. Mark, take it away.
He now has a score of 32 points. Let me remind you, fans, that is without bonus points. He did this on pure, raw, unadulterated horsepower, no nitrous. He didn't get a bonus point. He has the lead.
You know what? That's great. I was pitiful in racing. I can't believe it. I rolled over, so I figured, you know what? We're going to start it out strong. Worked out well for me. I wish I would have toenailed it. I bet I could have backflipped it right there. But what it's all about is these guys right here. Now it's about all the people at home, because it's right now, right here, this is going down, and it's awesome.
We're having a great time here. Adam Anderson, the hot seat is all yours. We're going back to you guys up in the booth.
I'm dizzy watching that.
I hope Adam was watching that last angle, because that was making me dizzy too.
Man.
How does he come out of that stuff?
And he's right. You know, he's talking about, you know, hitting that a little differently. He might have been able to pull off a backflip. I don't know. And, you know, there's a couple trucks that yet to come that might try that stuff.
Well, you wonder again. We saw Tom Mintz backflip a truck, although it did hit on the roof, not a clean backflip, in Arnhem, Holland during a competition. Then last year at the Monster Jam NGK Sparkles World Finals, Tom did, on the special stunt, not in competition, a complete backflip. Well, who knows? But that's actually a piece of the Taz truck that Adam's going to give to a Monster Jam fan. How about that?
Yeah, he'll autograph that, and somebody will take that home and hang it up, and they'll remember that forever. It's a great memory. It's one of the teeth, by the way.
For those of you watching at home who haven't come out to a Monster Jam event live, you're seeing why there's going to be more than 250,000 people at Monster Jams and other Feld Motorsports events this weekend because of this. Who else does this? Takes part of your truck, goes up into the crowd, they're going to find a fan to give it to. It's just part of the whole Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam experience. And boy, you can see Adam loves it with the fans too. And that's a big thing. See the Gravedigger fans come up there? It's been important to Adam to try to appeal to his dad's fan while making his own, and I think he's done a good job. But let's get back to action, because here comes Lindsey Wink in that Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder in our kind of unofficial winter season opener in Minneapolis last month. This was your freestyle winner. So let's see if he can make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, and a house-built truck here. Again, we talked about the lower center of gravity a little bit earlier on. This is one of those trucks that has that. It also has very light tires on it. If you take a look at these lugs, every other lug has been cut off. And it helps him do that right there.
We like to say, announce your presence, young man, and he has done just that as we're on board with the Advanced Mutt's Auto Parts Jam Cam.
You can see the drive shaft loop down in there as you looked at that onboard. It's protecting that drive shaft, keeping it located in case something were to happen there. Obviously, the shocks on either side by those limiting straps. There's a lot going on there. The 4-link rear suspension. Take a look at all those moving parts.
Listen to Lindsey for a minute.
Nice. Precision, baby, precision.
See, that's the kind of thing. Lindsey Wink is a thinking man's freestyle. He's looking for something nobody else is doing. How can he do something a little smoother, a little better?
Oh, nice save.
Got good job, very good job. Problem is, he may have to go into reverse. Yep, and technically the judges may deduct a little bit for that. Not to deduct much, though. That was a great
save.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally was a save.
Blue Thunder into bonus time. Lindsey Wink maybe taking a run. And our leader, Taz, has got that score of 32.
On the gas, wide open, as fast and hard as he could hit it. And there goes the left front.
Listen to this place. Atlanta's going crazy for Blue Thunder.
I'm telling you, that's awesome. He hammered the throttle.
I mean, hit it right over. That the biggest jump of the night?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
I'm trying to think some of these others we've seen. There's just no doubt that that's the biggest jump of the night. And yet, that sets the bar when you consider the two guys who are still to come.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you, man, the way he was going, if he did that a couple more times, that truck stayed together, we would have had a new leader once again. Man, nobody has hit a jump like that wide open yet tonight. He just did it.
He got a total of 30 for his regulation, so he did not match Taz. And obviously, I haven't seen the bonus points. He did go into bonus time, but it doesn't look like he's been given any bonus points. So let's take a look at some replays. Ken, take a look here.
That was it, man. That's the big one. He's going to land on the front, but probably predominantly on the left front. But really, I mean, it was pretty even. It was just so much speed, so much momentum. And that 10,000-pound truck turns into a 50, 60, 70,000-pound truck when it lands right there. And just, man, do you see the size of these differentials up close and personal? A 3,500-pound hunk of iron, and it just mangles it like it's butter.
Maybe to put it a different way from what you just said, that's actually kind of taking a $250,000 truck and making it jump.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a, let's watch this. Look at the suspension, listen. And they work that throttle right there as well. They want to keep those tires rotating. Oh. Usually it'll help save the truck, but nothing was going to save that one.
Man, you know, I'm jealous right now of the people at home who have those big stadium sound systems with their televisions catching this. You're seeing it in HD live, and you're hearing that kind of sound. Lindsey Wink going up, and he's got one of those very popular Built Ford Tough flags that a lot of folks like taking home. He's given one to one of his fans. Well, down there with the broken wheel, I think, is Mark Schrader. Mark, what do you got?
Check this out. Let me show you the type of carnage that kind of air will get you. This is a 3/4 inch bolt right here, sheared completely off. You can see that these bolts here have pulled the threads completely out of the rear end. And what's happened is we pan over here, this is the tie rod right here. This is a 1-inch bolt right here that the tie rod attaches to, and this is a hydraulic ramp. This is an amazing amount of carnage here, all in 1-inch bolts, 3/4 inch bolts. Back to you guys in the booth.
You know, that's one of the reasons Mark Schrader is a part of this team. He's right in the middle of it, knows it, lived it, drives it, and right now he knows as well as we do that Taz is your leader with that score of 32, 1 point better than Captain's Curse. Blue Thunder got 30, but again, early in bonus, clearly the bonus judges are going to give you points if you don't fill the bonus time. That's what we're seeing here, and he got no bonus points. So Lindsey was in the game, and he sure turned these fans on, Ken.
You know what Mark Schrader was thinking? He was thinking, I'm really glad I don't have to write a check for that.
You think?
Because he's written plenty of them for it, but yeah, I mean, it's just huge stuff. And this is exactly what we expected to see out here on a huge floor, large obstacles, and the best in the business.
And then there were two. It is time for Tom Meents at Maximum Destruction. Destruction. Ken, let's just sit back and enjoy for a minute.
Signature drive around the stadium, waved to everybody.
Now here it comes. Look at him hold that hand out the window. Nobody else does that. And you're seeing this kind of elevation.
Yeah. He's jumping that thing like a supercross bike.
Remember, and we're going to Anaheim. As soon as this is done, we will bring you more live coverage. It's 6.5 hours live on speed after we're done with these next 2 freestyles out to Anaheim. Jeff Hemming, Aaron Bates will bring in the coverage of the first Monster Energy AMA Supercross of the new year. Look at all the different angles. Now we get that side shot coming out of Vince's truck.
Keep in mind, oh, look at that. Up over that jump with the rear steer activated. Keep in mind, this truck is 10 years old.
Oh, and
I'm beginning to think that rear steer is broke, actually. Yeah, that's broke. It's not coming back to center.
But he pulled it back down. He got in trouble.
This is vintage Mintz right here.
Tom Mintz will do more with a broken truck than most mortals will do with one that's 100%. And look at him do it right now.
It's very difficult for him to make a right-hand turn. In fact, I don't think he can even make a right-hand turn. So he has to do the best he can do with what he has to work with. Before it was all left-handed loops. Now he's gone all the way back across the floor to try to get started again.
Tom is spectacular, but remember, they cost him a double down.
Maybe not. Man. He stands on the throttle.
This place is going bonkers. And there's the scores. He's got the lead, a 36 for Mintz.
Nobody in the Georgia Dome is sitting down now.
Wow.
I can't believe that engine stayed together. He matted the throttle when he thought he was going to lose it. And I mean, every last RPM that thing could provide, it was doing.
I'm sitting there thinking that the truck is broke. How is he going to get to a chance for that double down? He's got it. Dennis Anderson's got to top that. But what gives Dennis a bit of an opening is 1 bonus time, because Tom didn't get there, and 2 if he can keep his piece together. But right now, we know what this is about.
He is a happy camper.
If you have never seen Tom Mintz in action before, well then, you're about to see why Tom is one of those popular drivers ever with young fans who like to wear helmets to bed.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, what do they call this place?
The house that Tom built. Yeah.
This is exactly why, and he will find a Max D fan up there, and somebody's going to get a helmet. I often wonder about after they get the helmet, because he usually smacks it one time just to make sure it's on good.
The resiliency of this man and this team. After a very tough 2009, you know, if he had won the World Racing Championship last year, 2009 would be considered the worst year of his career. He struggled. Then went to Minneapolis a month ago and was broke all night, left spiking his helmet, not giving it to a fan, but spiking it into the floor. But that team didn't get down. They went back and they went to work, and they brought Tom a piece that has put him in a position to double down.
All right, he's up in the crowd making tracks. He has his eyes on somebody. So
Oh, look at that go big or go home sign. Is that the one he's looking for?
It might be.
Because that's his trademark saying, go big or go home. I think that's where, that is where he's going. This young man's going to get himself a Maximum Destruction helmet. Yeah.
That is just too cool.
Again, you just don't see this anywhere other than at Advanced Auto Parts Monster Jam events, and that's what's so much fun. Well, here's the leaderboard. Oh, wait a minute. They did give him bonus points. I didn't think he got into bonus time. I stand corrected. I apologize, fans. That's a total of 40. So now it is going to be a tough, real tough road for Dennis Anderson to hold. He has got to bring it. He's got to fill the clock, and he's got to get into bonus time.
Listen, trademark song.
Well, fans, we're going to sit back with you and watch this one. He's still good. Halfway through the run.
First gear, he needs second.
Final 30 seconds of regulation. That's what we're counting down. Regulation time with that leap, but he's going to get no bonus points. He's got to get a perfect score, or Tom Meents has doubled down. As spectacular as that was, I don't think he can win. And the Digger fans aren't going to like that.
Oh, man.
Wow. How spectacular was that final leap? Breathtaking is what that final leap was.
He aired that thing out
Look at Tom.
as big as we've ever seen.
I think Tom knows he's got it, and unless there's 4 10s come up out of the judges, Tom Meents has doubled down. But we'll have to wait and see. There's Dustin Brown, crew chief for the Gravedigger, who's in there taking care of his driver. So they were taking a look, and again, the safety crews, the first thing they do, check the driver out, check things over. The scores, again, he matched him in regulation in a 36. But because Max D got 4 bonus points, and look at the confetti coming out of the sky. It's just part of this night of history right here, and you're a part of it. And remember, we're not done. We've got 3.5 more hours of coverage coming up as we go out to Anaheim in a moment. But right now, we're going to Mark Schrader.
Tom, we're on live television on Speed. You said you had one thing left to do. You said double down. You did it, my friend.
Oh, I know it. It's Atlanta, Georgia, man. There's such good luck here. These people are so crazy. I drive so hard. And all the Master Jam fans back at home, we had a horrible Minneapolis to start the year. But right now, Brandon Lambert, Mark Cole, Tom Meents, we're back in the game.
Woo! Double down. 8-time world champion Tom Meents in Maximum Destruction here for the first time ever, Atlanta live, and you're watching it exclusively on Speed. Scott and Ken up in the booth, what a night we've had.
Yeah, Mark, but you should know better to turn your back on Meents.
He's wound up, man. He's wound up.
And Mark Cole and Brandon Lambert, his crew, as happy as anybody in the place. What a spectacular start. Tom Meents and Maximum Destruction doubles down on this spectacular night. We're going to come back to wrap up and then be ready to go to Anaheim for the great Supercross action. Back in Atlanta in just a moment on Speed. Speed's coverage of Monster Jam live from Atlanta has been brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Keep the wheels turning. By Ford, the Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And by Magnaflow Exhaust Products. Quality, power, sound. Ken, what a night. Take a look at the scores quickly.
Yeah, Maximum Destruction coming out here, just making it happen. And, of course, Gravedigger right there just didn't get into the bonus time.
Tom Meents able to grab the victory as you look at all the scores. We want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this history Speed live coverage of Monster Jam. Remember, all Monster Jam roads lead to the NGK Spark Plugs World Finals in Las Vegas, the official destination of Monster Jam. Our thanks to everybody. A great job by the crew. Phenomenal work by our camera people. But most of all, we thank the great sponsors and you Monster Jam fans for making this entire night possible. And stay tuned. There's a whole lot more coming up. For Ken Stout and for Mark Schrader, I'm Scott Douglas, going to SoCal because Anaheim is next. Live on Speed. Don't go away.